Hey everyone, it's Sarah from Sassy Reads, and today I'm bringing you a full-length review of Different Seasons by Stephen King. This novel was published in 1982, and it is pretty widely acclaimed. You've probably heard of some of these stories before because these are probably some of King's most famous tales, and they're famous for good reason. The first story / novella in this collection is Hope Springs Eternal, Rita Hayworth, and The Shawshank Redemption. So, The Shawshank Redemption is a very famous film, and this story is wonderful. I gave it 4.75 stars. The only reasons why I didn't give it a 5-star was because there's no Morgan Freeman, which is fantastic. As read, wonderful. And one of my favorite plots within the Shawshank Redemption movie is not in this story, and it is kind of in it, but it's briefly mentioned and then carried on from. But the reason why I love the movie so much was because of that one specific scene and the theme that it tackles and how it really cements it and emphasizes its importance to people who've been in jail. And so that was kind of sad. Finding it not in here, but this is just a novella, and the Shawshank Redemption is like a 3 or 4 hour movie, so you see, this is 100, let's see, I'll tell you how many pages it is. It is 130 pages. So 130 pages was turned into a 3-hour movie, so of course there's going to be a lot more added, and that's the difference. And I saw the movie first, so of course, my own personal opinions have been swayed by that, and it's hard not to be completely biased when I love the movie so much. Anyway, it's a fantastic story. King's a genius. Next up in this collection is Summer of Corruption, and the story is Apt Pupil, and Apt Pupil is one of my all-time favorite King stories. I gave it 5 stars. Obviously, if it's an all-time favorite, it's amazing. Apt Pupil it opens up with a boy. And this boy's 12 or 13 years old, and he's riding his bike, doing his newspaper route, and he's smiling. And he's smiling, and he's smiling. And he's a very calculative, manipulative little kid. And he definitely has psychopathic tendencies. And he knocks on this man's door, and he says to him, "I know who you are." This man says, "I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not who you think I am." And he's like, "No, I know who you are." And that is how he uncovers, well, he doesn't uncover, he already uncovered it. He forces Doosander to admit that he was a former Nazi in World War II. And that is where the story picks up, and it becomes a Summer of Corruption. The story follows, I think, 4 years until he's a graduating senior, and he's about to go to college. And, Lord, there's a lot of murder. This is not for the faint of heart. Some of these scenes are very graphic, they're very disturbing, they're very disgusting, and they will set your teeth on edge. But it was amazing. This is just a fantastic story, and King doesn't disappoint with Apt Pupil. I can't recommend Apt Pupil enough to people. Just read it, listen to the audiobook. Don't watch the movie because the endings are different. I haven't even seen the movie yet, kind of because I don't want to see it, because I love the ending of Apt Pupil so much, and I feel like it shouldn't be tampered with. The ending is fantastic. It's amazing. It's glorious. It is the way it should be, because you can see it coming. And you know what it's going to build up to, but you don't think King's going to go there? He went there, and it was crazy. Next up is The Fall from Innocence, and it is the story called The Body. You've probably heard of Stand By Me, that movie with River Phoenix, and, what's his name? The kid from the Goonies, and, yeah, that movie, the one where they walk along the railroad tracks, and they find the body. That's what is based off of The Body by Stephen King. It is a very heart-wrenching tale about 4 friends who go and discover a body. And it's a very long journey, and they definitely have a fall from Innocence. You learn so much about each of these characters, and you see what makes them human, what makes them kids, and what makes them on the cusp of losing their innocence. And it's good. I'm trying not to spoil it. I gave The Body 4.25 stars. The reason I gave The Body 4.25 stars and not higher, and it's my lowest rated story in this collection, was because it felt a little long, and there was like this section where there's like this random interlude / intermission of a random story of the writer introducing his own story, and I was like, dude, we don't need that. And then, like, at the end, his own commentary was like, this is a horrible story. This story shows how bad of a writer I was. And I was like, yeah, it did. Why was it in here? So that could have been cut. And then it wouldn't have felt so long. And then the last story in this collection is, what's it called? A Winter's Tale. And it is The Breathing Method. I gave The Breathing Method 4.75 stars. It's about this guy who is a part of this club, and in this club they tell stories, and this one guy is telling the story of a woman who is determined to save her child, and she's like a single mother. She's kind of disgraced for the time period. I think this is set like pre-World War II or maybe post-World War II where the story takes place, so like it wasn't seen to be fit if you were an unwed mother, and that's where the breathing method comes in, and it gets dark. It gets a little horrifying, and the very descriptive scene. Whew. I was a little queasy. I was like, good thing I'm not eating right now, because I would have not wanted to eat at all. It was something. Yeah, it was very King. If I were to rank the stories, I would say Aft Pupil's my favorite. The Breathing Method is my second favorite. Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption is my third favorite. And The Body is my least favorite. And overall, I give this collection 4.75 stars. So obviously, Different Seasons is a very strong novella collection. These 4 stories are fantastic. They're very highly loved. I love them. I highly recommend them. They do have their problems here and there, but they're just wonderful, and I highly recommend it. So let me know down below in the comments if you've read Different Seasons, if you've seen any of the movies for these stories, and let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you down below in the comments. Bye, and happy reading.